ship has, obviously not unlimited supply, but like sufficient
It'll only take 2 or 3 to do it.
amount of Exterminatus weapons to conduct like 1 or 2
If we can call in a
Exterminatus.
second or third ship, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, but that will be up to you if you go immediately to Thrax after your ship arrives, or do you go for like additional help to like get more.
Maybe an assessment. Go there, see what we need, and if we need to bring in a second, at least maybe have another ship on standby, perhaps.
Well,
I mean, how
you
many?
You need to decide.
How many ships are in the region?
You're asking a very hard question. Obviously, like region. Well,
Like within striking distance, not as a part of the main fleet.
I don't know how much, how much in detail you would know that.
I mean, if
or
we're talking
we're here.
about Imperial Guard ships, we would know about. That would be information that'd be very easy for us to get.
yeah, this.
Other Inquisition ships, that would be a little more difficult. We wouldn't necessarily have direct access to that.
Yeah, basically.
So we're going from that there.
Around here, there were no active Imperial deployments. Around this area, let's say they might be like Imperial patrol, like going around.
Patrol usually would be frigates, though. That's not going to be useful.
Yeah, because this is like the place that, because of your job, etc., like Imperium is not trying to put a lot of combat units like on the edges, and they are focusing on like around Kulf in this area. This is where the majority of the Admiral Johann's fleet is placed.
So we're going from that distance, and if we are talking about from Kulf, so it would be an average of about twice as much time for another ship to get to Thrax as it would for us, roughly.
Well,
maybe a little bit less if we're bringing somebody from the forefront or the battlefront.
How would it be possible? I mean, you already used that one, so why not try a second time? I can give a hint because I'm so nice. That maybe Mayek uses projection again, but this time trying to contact Admiral's astropod.
That would be extremely dangerous for him. If Ovid could do it, that'd be a lot better. He doesn't have the soul binding that would protect him if he's going that far into the war.
Yeah.
Oh.
A telepath can that isn't soulbound to the Emperor can manage to do it over the distances of, say, a solar system. But if they're going to start to do, star to star, that becomes immeasurably more dangerous. I mean, it almost guarantees demonic possession.
I imagine. Unless ordered, Mayek wouldn't exactly want that.
He knows his limits, I imagine.
Yeah.
Xanthus, what's your take on that?
Well, Xanthus isn't about to order Mayek to do something that could result in demonic possession.
Yeah, mostly in general. Like, are you guys like listening for the discussion? Like, I'm not rushing you guys. Just like wondering if you, what is the decision? Like, do you go immediately to Thrax? I know you're discussing, but just rambling.
Okay, so I'm sorry. What's your question?
He's asking if we've made a decision.
Oh.
Or if we're still discussing.
We're still kind of discussing in that case.
It's fine.
Okay, so
How many cyclonic warheads do we have on board?
Unless the planet we're planning to use it on is really, really massive, it would only take 2 or 3 torpedoes to do it.
I would imagine you have
After a day, the
place
planet would be.
for 4. I'm gonna be nice like that, because obviously Frax in Wiki is not described, its size is not described, because of course it's not. Huh, actually Frax has moons, but never mind.
So we have enough cyclonic torpedoes to destroy it if we need to. Well, let me rephrase that. We have enough cyclonic torpedoes to destroy it.
Yeah.
He brings up the moons. The moons are a different story. If those moons have been touched, then yeah, that would be a problem, because we would need more torpedoes to take care of the moons.
So, really quick question. Where is the Lord Admiral's fleet?
Lord Admiral Johannes McFleet is stationing at the center point of the War of Screen Mars, so near Kolv.
Kolv and along this
basically, yeah, this is like his fleet. The majority of his fleet's forces is gathered like in this area.
I see. And where was that patrol you mentioned?
Like they're going like usually along this way, on the edges, like trying to see any unusual severantamate movement, but not trying to force much of engagement.
Patrols would not include.
It wouldn't have enough.
It wouldn't have cruisers. They'd be frigates only, and frigates won't have torpedo tubes.
So,
well, except for the torpedo frigates, which there might be a few, but they're designed for fleet engagements. They're not designed for this kind of thing, so they would have to have those kind cyclonic warheads requisitioned, which would be about as long as it would take to get a cruiser over here.
So how many moons does Thrax have?
Actually, I mean, you can look at the description of
even one would kind of.
It's not specific. It says several. I'm quoting Wiki.
That's not good. We have how many? We have how many cyclonic torpedoes?
4. I think 4 is a reasonable number.
It's gonna take at least 2 to take care of the planet. That'll leave us with 2 extra torpedoes, and it's going to take at least 1 torpedo to take care of each moon. So if there's more than 2 moons, we're kind of screwed.
Obviously, it is under assumption.
Yeah.
Just I don't like, because
Frontier World 7 dominant.
Don't want to cause any
I mean, the good news is anything we hit with the proper amount of cyclonic torpedoes, it'll be clean. A moon, it'll just outright destroy the moon, and the planet, it'll completely destroy its atmosphere and turn the planet into a glowing rock.
Okay.
If
I may,
that's the case.
To introduce one last bit of paranoia, basically you don't know if the population on the moons is infected. You would know that some population survived the war and there was still some on the moons. You don't know if they are infected or not. Necron reports don't mention anything about it. Was it because
yes, but anybody coming off of the planet, the moons would probably be the most.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to say.
Worst comes to worst.
I'm talking what you know from the perspective of the data of Necrons. So
worst comes to worst, we could always just bombard the moons with lance fire and destroy them the old-fashioned way.
We could also call in we could requisition I don't know if requisition is the right word here, but we could also requisition the patrol fleet and have them effectively, I think there was blockade Thrax and its moons. Nothing gets in or out without our express permission while we wait for reinforcements from the Lord Admiral's fleet. We'd only need 2 cruisers, 3 max, come in, blow up the moons, and then immediately right back to Kolv. Does that sound viable?
How many frigates are in the patrol? They're usually groups of pairs.
Would it be like reinforced, so like 2 pairs, so total of 4?
4 could just destroy the moons themselves, even without specialized equipment. They could just blast it over the course of a few days with whatever lance and torpedo weapons they have. They'd have to be here for a few days, but there's no one else around, it seems, so they wouldn't have to worry about being attacked.
However, that means that the patrol wouldn't be doing their job.
That's true too.
True, but we could always send a message to the Lord Admiral to send another patrol.
Okay, that'll work, I suppose. Have them. I mean, we're trying to get the thing with the Dominant settled, so hopefully there's a lull. Yeah, that seems like a good plan.
And one more
Good enough,
thing.
considering the situation.
One more thing. Once we destroy Thrax, we need to make sure that word of it never gets out. Or at least until we've pacified this subsector. The last thing we need at this crucial hour is to be...
the bridge crew of the... our ship is fine. The bridge crew of the frigates can just be told not to discuss and seal the records for this. They don't need to know exactly what they're firing at. They just need to know that there's a Xenos infestation, that the planet is lost, and while the Inquisition is doing things, we're to be left on our own and then following orders.
Yeah, Inquisition knows better, you just shut up and follow.
Basically.
I mean, it's the case that the crew do not need to know what it is they're doing or why, and the captain can just keep things to himself.
It's fine.
And if you want to, drop the hint that if he talks at all, he'll lose his tongue and his head, that's fine too.
Cold-blooded.
He's probably not that stupid, or she is probably not that stupid though.
When an Inquisitor says you don't talk about it, you don't talk about it.
We would actually be within our rights to call the officers afterwards if necessary.
Call the what?
Call the...
Basically kill everyone.
It's happened before.
There's 0 chance of information leaking out if everyone's dead.
Yeah, that might tell no tales.
It is the case, however, that it's done sometimes with the Guard. It's done less so with the battle fleet because they take longer to train, and it might take a while. But you have to. Even an Inquisitor has to justify their actions to somebody.
Yes, and Xanthus doesn't really like killing.
Inquisitors.
Xanthus doesn't much like killing the Imperial Guard and Navy, so we won't kill them. Just tell them that we're going to kill them if word of this gets out.
Yeah, basically in terms of Exterminatus, I think that's the case if I read about it correctly and remember that this is pretty straightforward case, so Xanthus will be able to very easily explain. But I think this is the case that every time Exterminatus is used, Inquisitor has to expect that he will be questioned about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Imperium has a lot of men, not a lot of planets.
There's a million planets.
Yes, but basically...
We'll have all the justification we need.
Habitable planets are more precious than lives because mankind can just fucking spawn more of itself. You cannot give birth to a new planet. That's mostly the case, I think.
Xanthus is going to be called into question eventually.
Terraforming is now difficult and hard. But during the Golden Age, or I'm sorry, the Dark Age of technology.
Yeah, well, Dark Age of technology was its own, like, cookie. And they had... Yeah, like... It is pretty like fun, on which I kinda maybe not agree, but it sounds interesting that, yeah, probably Mechanicus has a lot of, like, goodies from Dark Age of technology just hidden in their vaults.
I mean, terraforming technology exists. It's completely possible to terraform worlds. It just takes fucking ever. Yeah. It takes about 100 years to make a planet livable.
And it used to take a decade, if that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the Mechanicus has forgotten a lot more than they remember. And they've got stacks and stacks of things on Mars that they have no idea is there.
Lies and slander.
Actually, I read an interesting theory because I write like a quest on Space Auto Forum, and basically a theory was, which it sounds interesting, that what is easier? I'm looking for a word. Say that you do not understand technology when you are a member of an organization that is supposed to know all of it, or just say that this technology is heresy because you don't, or rather just technology is heresy but you don't say you don't understand it. No wait, actually that quote was from funny, so it's more like comment about it, never mind. But interesting musings from time to time.
Well, I mean, the Mechanicus has a lot of things that they kind of tend to keep to themselves. For example, Sigmund's phased plasma rifle.
Really good tech that they don't share.
They essentially have plasma rifles that don't overheat and are miles better than any other plasma rifle in service, and the only thing keeping them from spreading that to the entirety of the Imperium is that they don't wanna. That's it.
The Imperium is not worth it.
They want to keep the best toys to themselves, which I suppose is understandable. Dickish, but understandable.
Yeah, I mean, you have your own Xeno.
Well, yes, but that's...
toys that we're not technically allowed to use.
Yeah, well...
And that if you're not important enough, you get shot for using.
I might still do. But happily, I haven't had to use them in front of anybody that might object.
Which reminds me, I'm actually kind of surprised that Sigmund doesn't object more often. Or at all, actually.
Probably views me as a lost cause.
Also, it's not worth the RP trouble.
Fair enough.
Wow.
It's just that I'm pretty sure that if we had pulled this in your campaign, like, I don't know, if Atellus had picked up some sort of Xeno weaponry, Cairo would have had his hands.
Well, I'm the odd man.
What?
It's also the case that Cairo seems to be Cairo did. If you recall that chitinous armor that...
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, Cairo essentially was like, mine, you guys don't touch, and put that entirely away.
That was hilarious.
That's just the fact that I'm the odd man out here.
Cairo and Sigmund are
very different.
Yeah, I kind of imagine that Sigmund is like... because
he's not happy about it, but he's not going to pull the thread because it's just not worth it.
He kind of... Maybe he didn't knew immediately when he got pulled into this cadre what happened to the previous guys.
Out of character, had I known that Xavier was going to go in a more radical direction, I wouldn't have rolled the character I rolled. But that's what he ended up doing.
Well, Sigmund does seem somewhat pragmatic, and that's,
That's just how I've been playing him, then,
I mean, it's fine. Sorry if you feel that railed it into...
No, it's fine. Like I said, it's not important.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, if if during that fight, when basically the first meeting with Eldar, Caden, etc., when Cadus went apeshit, so if radicals died there, meaning Xantis and Moriana, obviously the situation was like that. If Cadus would probably continue attacking, then Caden and Eldars would be just like, yeah, you are like, and like kill the rest, and then it would be still up to you to decide like, okay, do you want to be more Puritan or radical? Like go purely Puritan. I myself, I don't know, you might not agree, but I find myself like more interested in having radical thing because it's more than black and white, kill the Xenos, purge the unclean. It allows for some gray areas to pop out. Anyways,
so we are heading to Thrax, and we are diverting the battle fleet patrol to essentially quarantine the area.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we proceed, how do you do the latter? Do you ask Mayek to do another projection?
No, this would be Ovis.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 days later, you see, and then I guess they jump close enough that you get within radio range, more or less. And with a lot of static, you hear a call from the ship that this is Captain Avitus with Colonel Kenneth. Inquisitor Santis, do you copy?
Yes, I'm here.
Very well. We are sending transport to you right now.
Excellent.
Do you require us to send squads to sweep the area or anything of the?
By area, he's referring to Orbiana?
Defense station in general.
How long have we been here?
2 days.
Would that be enough time for us to have just swept it ourselves, or were we just kind of sitting in a room this whole time?
Sigmund would have gone out to try to fix some of the stations, so he would have, I don't know, maybe while he's doing that.
I would say obviously the station is big, like everything in Warhammer. You would get a lot. I mean, you in character would know that, yeah, the enemy presence is gone. So you wouldn't check every corner of the station because it's literally impossible to do in 2 days. Because those things are big.
Like a whole city big or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
Like lore-wise, it is stated that if the station is active and Imperium tried to do a flanking attack on it, they might have been pretty fucked.
Damn.
That's the lore assumption from the video. Anyways, I mean,
Must be a fucking massive fortress.
You can say that it's fine, and they just need to get you out of the station, or you can just say that Meg can teleport you. But I imagine Zhao would protest.
No, we'll be saving Zhao from stress wrinkles.
Thank you.
Negative. What was it that he asked? No. What was it that he something sweep? Negative. We'll just be needing transportation.
Yes, sir. Sending one, and you will like see. Yeah, you have. Is it this tetrarch that they sent? because that's, I imagine, the only transport that's... Or technically it's so big that the cruiser itself could have docked. Yeah. So yeah, like one way or another, you find yourself back on the ship. Obviously you're immediately welcomed by the all saints on the ship, like not saints per se, but colonel, basically command squad, and captain, like reporting for duty, apologizing that it, well, took so long, and expressing not their desires, not their like in very polite and respectful way, they say that, hey, they are happy you like dealt with these Necrons. Although Colonel Kenneth looks like he wants to ask something, but he gives you this gaze, Xantis. The gaze like wanna ask in private. But yeah, that's the initial like reaction you get. The rest of the crew is just like busy working on their stuff.
Oh yes, it's good to be back home. Good to be back. We are victorious. Necron presence purged. All that good stuff. Remind me to tell you the story.
Whoever is in interest for Orbiana can be essentially informed that they can move in and take what's left.